A country boy from North Carolina, small town called Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I grew up watching my mom in the kitchen as well as my grandfather, and started participating with him roughly around about the age of 5 and 6, from helping chopping up onions to helping bake macaroni and cheese to bake candy yams and even some of the meats. My biggest inspiration that I wanted to do this was because I absolutely loved to cook. The name of the business is called the Archery Veterans Barbecue and Catering Service. To put veterans in there, it's because I've served. I wanted to make sure that society knows that veterans are still out here serving every day. Probably about 5 years ago, when I was at home in North Carolina, I did some cooking for my wife at the time. She was going through cancer, so I had to come up with different ways because she couldn't eat certain types of foods. Here I am becoming a single-parent father due to losing my wife to cancer. There were so many doubts. Could I do it? Am I capable of doing it? That just, I'm sorry now. It's no words. But then it was no questions, no more doubt. I knew what I had to do as a parent, and I just did it. From doing family barbecues to people telling me that I need to start researching and going into doing my own business, and food is the passion. So I started, and the bug kicked in, and if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna have to be 100% in it. So I 100% dove into it. I previously went to one bank and one credit union and was told no. Hearing that word no, it's gut-wrenching sometimes. Then I walked into the PACO. The first thing they did was said, hey, look, let's open you a checking account. Let's open you a savings account. Where do you want to grow financially? And I started to put things together, and the first thing that I did state was, I want to own my own business. From that standpoint, it was, how can we help? Sat down with John, and John said, come up with a plan, write it down, come up with some goals, write them down. And it took just him to believe in me when others didn't believe in me. That's all I needed. That's what opened that door. So he said, okay, well, we're gonna start you out with this amount. So let's start this small, and then let's work our way up to where you want to be. He taught me my first business transaction in reference to cutting cost. Thank you for believing in me, not only as an individual, as a father, as a veteran, and as a human being.